marketing company in Sheffield, Gapardo Marketing. I'm known a partner over there, so commonly known as SRJ number 5, but Gapardo is the one. Today we're talking about the maximizing sales potential. Okay, it's one of the newer topics. It's on 3+, so it's about being a core leader, and there's just different points that I think are really relevant to being able to do that. The first thing, it's really, for me, it breaks down into 2 parts. So the first thing is it sounds really simple, but sales to me is simple. So the first thing is seeing enough people. That really helps maximize your sales potential. And the second thing is having a good pitch. Honestly speaking, if you can do those 2 things, you'll be fine. It's a bit like if you're doing a diet. You need to eat properly and exercise. There's millions and millions of books out there about how you can diet and all these different ways, but ultimately just do those 2 things and you'll succeed. In sales, it's the same thing. So first of all, as I say, it's just making sure you're speaking to enough people. So working the numbers properly is really important. I'm not going to get into particular divisional numbers because they're all completely different. These days, working in energy efficiency division, we don't need to speak to anywhere near as many people as we used to, but we still need to know how many people we need to speak to in a day. How many qualifying customers can we speak to in order to be able to get our sales? So knowing the numbers is really important. You need to know how many people am I going to go to, how many properties do I need to go to, how many people do I need to speak to in an event, which is going to lead down to how many people can I close, and how many people then can I get the sale from. So it's knowing those numbers and breaking them down, understanding exactly what it is that you need to do every single day so that you can respond accordingly. And I mean, doing it to the level where you understand the exact numbers. So say, for example, you've got a leader, if you're a leader or if you're working with a leader for the whole week, you want to track how many people you spoke to. If it turns out to be 500 people over the course of the week, and say you've done 6 sales from the course of that, however many people it works out to be, whatever the goal is for the next week, that's what you need to know, how many people you need to speak to each and every single day. So 6 times the relevant number of people you need to speak to is how many people you need to speak to over the course of the week, and you can break that down and make it really simple. So every day you can track if that person's speaking to enough people, are they getting enough fuel basically to go out there and do the sales that they need to do. So it's really logical. The main thing is sticking to the basics. What you need to do is understand that if you're going to go and speak to the right number of people, using the law of average is really important. You also want to, when you're getting out to each and every single customer, you need to speak to them with a lot of enthusiasm. Remember the basics like the C principle. You need to be smiling when you speak to everyone. You need to have the right enthusiasm. Have the good eye contact when you're speaking to people as well. It's all very easy now in a classroom environment to understand those concepts, but remembering to do that throughout the course of the day is so important. So when you've been, maybe not getting the result you wanted for the whole day, and it's getting towards the end, you need to remind yourself to keep doing it, keep sticking to those basics as well. Also, in terms of the 5 steps, if you're finding that you're struggling maybe to get the sales, it must be something in amongst the 5 steps that you're not quite doing right. So work on that introduction, understand why you need to do a good presentation, figure out what you need to say in the short story and make sure you're delivering it properly. Immediately closing straight away after the short story without a pause is really important. And if the rejects are not quite where they need to be, it must be something to do with the rehash as well. So understanding those basics and really sticking to those basics is going to make a massive difference. Make sure you learn from different people. Use a network. You don't have to just learn from a leader. You don't just have to learn from your crew leader or your owner. Make sure you travel in and go and spend time with different people. Understand that everyone's going to say things slightly differently. You don't need to copy their words. Remember, the words themselves are only actually 10% of communication. 20% of communication comes from how you say the words, i.e. your tone of voice, and 70% comes from your body language. So they're much more important. Watch how people present. Watch how do they say things. Are they monotonous? It's pretty unlikely. They're more likely to be up and down with their tone, emphasizing on key words. With their body language, what are they doing? How are they, pointing off and gesturing when they're speaking to their neighbours? How are they stopping people if there's an event stand? Those sort of things are really important. As I said, you can go and learn that from all kinds of different people as well. using the online forums that we have, travel to different offices. It's really, really important that you're doing that. And just remember to, finally, in terms of maximising your sales potential, make sure that you are maximising your highs and minimising your lows. Sometimes this might seem like a strange concept at first, but when I first was explained, I didn't really understand it. But it's a lot of people tend to think when they're working really, really hard, they can relax off a little bit because they're doing really, really well and they feel like they're doing great. That's the worst thing you want to do. What you want to do instead is push even harder. If you've done 2 sales already and it's only halfway through the day, you should be going to do another 2 sales in the next half of the day. Really, really maximise that high, maximise that good feeling that you've got going on, and really, really push yourself. You don't need to take a break necessarily if you're feeling good.